So, good afternoon, folks. And as you see here, I have 4 celery stalks growing. So let's turn this back around because I want to talk to you a bit. We're going to go see the greenhouse. So as y'all can tell, I took a little bit of time off, a few days off, because just needed some rest and I needed some time off. So anyway, I went out yesterday to get some basil because I haven't had any pesto this whole entire summer, and Bob and I both like pesto, and so I went to the greenhouse so that I could actually pick some basil to make the pesto. And well, when I got out there, it wasn't good. So I'm going to take you outside to see what it is that I found. Now it's a little hard for me to get from the house out into the greenhouse. Sometimes I get a little bit scared I'm going to fall, but so far so good. And at least, well, I have my phone with me. If nothing else, I can call somebody for help if anything goes down bad. Anyway, so when I got to the greenhouse, I was really disturbed over what I found, but I didn't find it when I first went through the door. And so, well, I'll show you what happened. Okay, so I'm going to turn this around. So we're here at the door, and when I got this far, everything looked okay. Looked pretty normal. Basil plant sitting over there, so I was going to go ahead and get the basil. And I didn't happen to look over here at these holes. I was so intent on coming after what I came after, and then I was going to go pick the berries. I wanted to look the whole garden over to make sure everything was going fine. And if I had looked at this hole, see how muddy it is down in there? Well, and the other one's just like it. This hole was literally filled to the top, and the other one as well, with water. There was water coming out from under this particular raised bed, which is the center of the first 3. So I don't see any of this when I come in. And I start down my path between the tomatoes and the carrots, because this bed over here is going to be filled with carrots. And I get back to here, and I take a look and see my strawberries over here. Now, I wasn't too happy with what I saw. It looked worse than it does now. They look completely dead on the top. The bottom ones looked fine, but the top ones looked just totally dead. There was nothing to them. They were all laying down. And so I immediately go over to get my hose over here, my water hose. Because, see, I come in and I water these things every day, but I hadn't been able to, because of something that had happened, I hadn't been able to come over and water it yesterday. Or the day before, I should say, not yesterday. Anyhow, this was yesterday evening, and I had not been in here yet to water because I didn't think there was a need to water. And so when I came in and I went to go get this hose right here, this black cloth thing, well, don't buy any. They're not worth the money. We have had massive holes in this. And it just doesn't work. These don't work for our usage. It's a terrible thing to spend as much money as they cost and then not have nothing left for your money. So as you can see, we have the three here. This one here is, they're all growing real well, everything that's planted. This one is cabbage. So we've got our little cabbage plants growing. This has all been done from seed. We did not opt to plant or make seedlings in our seedling holder back there. We decided that we were going to try this year by doing it with just plain out seeds into the ground that it was going to stay in. So this has turned out, this is broccoli. This has turned out really good. These plants are just really in good shape. They look good. And then over here we have the kale, different kinds of kale, and chard in this one. And we've got lots and lots of plants. The chard is just growing to beat the band. So now you see why I found out the water was running. Of course, when I walked in, I didn't see it at first. I didn't notice because I don't ever look in those holes. But when I came in here and saw what had happened to my strawberry plants, I couldn't even water them to try to revive them. So I asked Bob to turn their water back on instead of me hand watering it, to just simply keep it so that it would be watered, self-watered from the control. And so he did. I've got a few berries that I need to pick, it looks like. Anyway, our next door neighbor has never come to pick any of his peppers. They're still hanging. So now you see what happened. It's been a mess. It's been a terrible, terrible mess. Now, if you'll be patient with me a second, let me take this camera holder that I am holding. It's shaking a little bit. And let me get it turned around. So hopefully I can talk and it'll capture me. There we go. Hopefully it'll stay still. Let me back up just a little bit so I'm not just straight in the line of fire. I'm going to sit down also. Sometimes it gets tiring standing up and so much. And the carrots, they're growing pretty fast. They actually should not even have come up at this point. They should be in the process of starting to come up, but they're not. They came up very quick, and I think it's the amendments that are in the ground that's causing them to come up. We watered the seeds every single day. I'm going to kind of put the camera on harvesting the peppers real quick, and then I'll sit down and talk a little bit more to you. Hopefully this will capture everything I'm going to be doing, I'm hoping. Can't promise that, but I'm hoping. And let me get my basket here. I'll need my cane. The ground in here is not completely smooth. There is some up and down hills, and without my cane, sometimes I get a little bit frightful that I'm going to fall. Yeah, this hole always kind of intimidates me a little bit, but I always get past it. We have lots and lots. This first plant is Poblano Peppers. Now, I don't know if any of y'all have even tasted Poblano Peppers or not. Bob and I, we like going, I'm going to be talking as I'm walking and looking. We like to go to Mexican restaurants every once in a while. We have bought dishes that have Poblano peppers in them. And they are so good. These are just not quite as big as I want them, but for whatever reason, they keep getting some broken limbs on it. I don't know what happens there because I always have to hold everything to be able to get them off because they're, I need to just pull this down and get rid of this limb that's broken. Poblano peppers taste really, really good, and I would encourage all of y'all to try this summer. Try them because they're there. There we go. Now we'll pull off the ones that are on that. Still hanging. There's a few. And then we can just get rid of this. Wow, there's a lot more on this than I thought there was. I had no idea. I'm glad I have my basket where I can just give things kind of a sling. That one's not good. These are kind of on the small side. I gave a bunch to my granddaughter Mia, the one who did the ant one with me, and she made a blueberry pie. She loves them, and her husband-to-be his family is Spanish, and they're from Mexico area, and they love this kind of stuff. Here's purple peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. The second one is purple peppers, and when I get back, if I remember, I will show you what they look like. But try poblanos. Now, because of our diet change, I am not going to be able to put any cheese in them, unless it's like non-dairy cheese. You know, there is such a thing, believe it or not. There is cheese that is made strictly from plants. Pretty good, actually. I have a cheese recipe that I'll make one day that's made from, wow, this thing has got a lot of these on it. One day I'll make a dish for you and show you how to make some. It's called cashew nut cheese. And it's pretty good. It's doesn't taste just like cheese, but it does taste like something that's really yummy. So you just kind of tell yourself, now this one, you tell yourself that it's just not regular cheese, you know, and not to expect that taste. But here, this is, this plant that's beside of the poblanos and the purple is something similar to a poblano. It's a little bit on this, I'm told it's a little bit on the spicy side. I don't know because I haven't tasted them yet. I've given a lot of them away. And then I've got some bell peppers here that need to be picked. Some green peppers, and I don't know, but something has come in here and just destroyed branches. I do not know what it is, but this is terrible because all these peppers are not good anymore. I mean, somebody wreaked havoc on the, this is upsetting, but something wreaked havoc on a couple of the limbs, and I reckon people aren't. I haven't picked peppers in a while, so the only thing I can say is something got them. But this is amazing to have so much fruit come off, you know, off the, wow, there's some that I cannot even get to. They're just so way out there. Wow, this one's big. Yeah, I have to hold it in order to get them off because I don't want to break a branch. I've seen someone else that was picking out here break a branch, and I just can't stand that because, you know, I've wasted enough food in my life. I surely don't want to waste more, especially in the times we live in, because we don't know what tomorrow holds. You know, we don't know if we're going to have food or not have food. So I just want to be more careful in regards to how I'm picking things. Now, some of these are way out there. So we're going to try to see if we can use my cane for something other than steadying my walk. See if we can get a couple of these peppers here to me and still hang on to. There, that worked. There's another one. Oh, that one's way out there. I don't know if I can get it to... Oh, I was at the grocery store the other day, and there was this little lady who was about the same height as me, and she made the comment. She says, you know, everything that's above the second row, I can't reach. She says, we need all the help we can get, don't we? I said, yeah, it's a little bit difficult sometimes trying to get stuff. Here's another purple one. Well, I got my hand, oh, there goes my cane. I got my, oh, there goes another one. Dropped it, maybe I can find them. That's 2 down. So, ah yes, I see them. Easily remedied. Anyway, I got these finally. Now let's keep on and see how much of what else we can find in here, because I'll tell you what, my basket's already slammed full. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I reckon I have to go back and get a bigger basket. Ooh, mud, yuck. Well, good thing I'm wearing black, right? Okay. Oh, there's another green bell pepper right there. There's another big one. Oh my goodness, there's 2. Oh, 3. One bit the dust on the ground. I was trying to get it. Oh, there's one. It's almost red. It's been out here so long. Wow. Hallelujah. I'm really going to have to go get another basket. This is not going to work. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Let's see. Well, we'll leave that there. I'll just take these that are in my hand and go get a different basket and then come back. We won't try to carry that basket because I don't think I can do that. It's move all of these dead branches. I love picking the garden. It's interesting. I especially love picking kale and chard and that kind of thing. I think it's very interesting. I know I'm not in your view now. There, we got a basket. I have a basil plant growing in here. And I had not been able to make any pesto so far this summer. Well, first of all, pesto, you know, it's kind of a hot dish as far as it's, you know, you got hot noodles and stuff, and when it's hot outside, you don't want to eat, spaghetti and stuff of that nature. You want things that are more cool. So yesterday evening, I came out to the greenhouse. That's when I found everything that was going awry. I came out and picked a lot of, I'm sorry, I'm trying to get these peppers in my other basket so it doesn't topple over. Okay, we'll leave this basket on the ground and keep going with the red one. Anyway, oh, there's water over here, standing water, which is bad because now you can get canes. I don't like the things. I don't like picking them. I'm leaving them. Bob can do it if he wants, but I'm not picking canes. They make my face just burn when you're trying to pick them. They're just so intently hot. I put a bunch of jalapenos yesterday in the freezer. And here we got a bunch more. Maybe not quite as ripe. Well, no, there's a whole bunch there. Let's put this right here so we can get in here and not have too much trouble. There's another green pepper, and man, this one's stuck. It's like really stuck. Oh, Wow. I sliced up the jalapenos and put them in the freezer in the anticipation that we will continue to have some jalapenos for a while. And because we will, then eventually I can make some pickled jalapenos so that Bob, instead of me buying a jar of them, he will be able to, wow, there is a lot of bell peppers in here. He will be able to have his own in pickled form, because I buy them several jars a year, and I think I will have at least several jars from what I cut up, and I have a whole huge gallon bag full of cayenne pepper already inside. Wow. I know I must look like a woolly booger now. Anyway. Wow. I can't believe all these peppers. Bob was telling me the other day that he thought off this habanero plant that we have in here, he thought that there would have been about 500 come off of it this summer. And he might be right, because it's loaded again. I mean, you barely get them picked and it's already loaded again. I mean, it's just amazing at how many habaneros, and I don't agree with eating them, you know, because the Hispanic people have the highest rate of stomach cancer, and it mainly comes from eating so much heat. But he does like them here and there, and so, you know, sorry plant, thankfully it was only one plant. If we'd had 2 plants, I don't know what we would have done. I'm going tomorrow to get eggs from George and Pam. Again, I don't eat the eggs much myself anymore, but Bob does, and he really loves their eggs. I mean, I love their eggs too. It's just I'm choosing to try to cut back on that because of how it affects my arthritis. And they taste wonderful. It's just like everything I can't have, you know. These peppers, I'm not supposed to eat them either, any of them. And they taste marvelous. But my body doesn't like it. Wow. It's really muddy in here, y'all. I feel like I'm going through a swamp. All the water that's on this side hasn't dried up yet, because I'm telling you, both of those big holes for the trees, they were loaded with water. I was in shock when I looked at it and saw it, because Bob noticed it. I didn't, because I don't really ever look at the holes, but he did. And he noticed it on the way going out. He didn't see it coming in. And then or maybe he did see it coming in, but I know he noticed it. He talked about it when he was starting to go out, or he had brought the ladder around, because he had to get the ladder to pick the tomatoes. Who has tomato plants that are 13 feet tall? Actually, these are longer than that, because he's let them drop several times. So these are probably closer to 16 feet tall tomato plants. But anyhow, in order to pick them, he had to take the ladder all around the tomato bin. I mean, just look at that. They're just everywhere. Those little orange things. Yeah, they're full of fire, all right. They'll put a real sharp fire under you. So, wow. This is a lot of peppers, y'all. I'm going to bring them over and show them to you, so you can see how many. I mean, just in that one little row. And there's tons still attached that haven't grown big enough yet that are there. Let me turn this around so it can see me. See? See how many? That bag gets full. And here's another one partially full. I mean, it's almost full completely. And it's just amazing at how many of these things there are. Now let's go over here and let me sit down. I still see some tomatoes that got ripe overnight that we couldn't reach. And I can't swat at those or pull those for me to be able to get, because if I do, it's going to end up damaging the tomato. And so it will have to stay where it's at. Now, you're going to see everything switch as far as the siding and everything of what's going on here in the greenhouse in just a second, because what I'm going to have to do is turn it and get everything going action. But it causes everything behind me to be on the wrong side, generally speaking, because the actual pepper plants are to my left, but when you see it, they're going to be on my right. At least that's the way it usually works out. Woo! Tired. That's what happens when you have rheumatoid arthritis. You get tired over everything. Everything just wears you to a frazzle. And I have to say, we've been taking the wheatgrass, and we grew 2 trays of wheatgrass in the house. One of them was just ran on water specifically only. Juiced it, and it's already gone. We've drank it. The other I cut yesterday, and I have not juiced it yet, and when I go back in the house, I'm going to go juice that. You take getting started, it's pretty slow in the beginning when you get started with wheatgrass, because you don't want to make yourself sick. Wheatgrass does a lot of things to the human body. Number one, it gives you more energy. It's a living food as you're drinking it. When it has been smashed out, every hour that goes by, you're losing some of the goodie in it, because it's living in the very beginning. But it still helps you no matter how old it is. I mean, well, what I should say, if it's within 2 days, you can still drink it. I wouldn't advise drinking it on the 3rd and 4th and 5th day. It's gotten old and it's getting rank. But you first start out with a half of an ounce. Then you build up the next day to a half an ounce twice a day. And then the next day you can go 1 ounce at the first time that you take it at the day, and half an ounce the other time. Then the next day you have an ounce at both times, until you build up to be able to get 2 ounces each time. So that's a total of 4 ounces a day of wheatgrass juice. And what it does is it does a whole pile of things. But number one, it actually says in all the literature I've read that it gives you B12. Now, if you are a vegetarian such as myself, then you have a hard time getting B12 if you're a vegan. You have to take generally a supplement that is not oriented towards animals, but it is a supplement that does have it in it. And I've taken that. I wanted something that I didn't have to take a supplement. I wanted it to actually be something that was doing me some good, as well as helping to destroy this rheumatoid arthritis. Now, this may take me a long time to get over. I don't know. I know some people who go on it, they get over the rheumatoid arthritis very swiftly. But because I have titanium knees now in both knees, are both titanium, I'm not sure I'll even be able to get over it, but maybe be able to get rid of most of the pain. I'm hoping. At least that. We'll keep on this journey and this walk and see how things go. Sunday, I will come back out here and do another video and show you what it looks like when we take this mountainous, let's turn it back around so we can see. This mountainous mess of tomato plants that are about 16 feet tall. You can't see it from here, but he's got it actually, he let them down a couple times. And when he see, there's my peppers. When he let them down, they're covered up with dirt. So all of that will be gone Sunday. And in the place of that, we're going to plant a whole bed of different kinds of lettuces. And I have some celery. I have 4 celery plants growing from celery that I dehydrated. I dehydrated and I took the core, the bottom of the core, and I put it in water, 4 of them. And now I have substantial celery growing. And so he will place that Sunday into the beds. And after he gets these tomato plants out, we will have celery. So he's going to have celery and lettuce in here, and hopefully some onions going towards later time, and garlic. We'll put some of that in there too. But the one that has the pepper plants in it over here, that's going to have root vegetables in it, such as rutabagas. Turn it back so you can see who's talking to you. We're going to have rutabagas, and we're going to have turnips and red beets. But it looks like I need to go to the strawberry plants and do some weed whacking, like cut off some of the bad leaves and stuff and get it down to the real good plant again, since we had the disaster with the water. Hope y'all are having a blessed day. Hope everybody's happy and enjoying life and not stressing too much about how the world is right now, because truthfully, we need to get on with this show, guys. We need to be able to get on to heaven. And Jesus needs to come. We need to get away from all of this horribleness that's around us all the time. And so today I say, bless you people. I hope God blesses you immensely and greatly, because he loves each and every one of you, and I love you too. And thank you for being our viewers and our watchers and subscribers. Have a good evening. Bye.